Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today is BookList Thursday. This is a video series I do with my friend Lindsay over at Lindsay's Little Library. And every Thursday we bring you some sort of list or book topic that we feel like talking about for the week. And since today is September 11th, we are going to share with you some recommendations for books that we have read about September 11th and that we highly recommend. Every September for the past few years and moving forward, I am planning and trying to read a nonfiction book about 9/11 because that's definitely the most significant world event that has happened in my lifetime, to the point where I remember every single detail because I was in my 20s and I remember exactly where I was when it happened. And I still get hit very emotionally when I think about 9/11, or if I see images or pictures or videos or anything, I just immediately start tearing up. It really, really impacted me. And so it's something that's very important to me, that I know a lot about it and that I learn things. And so every September, I try to read a nonfiction book about it. I have even had the chance to visit all three of the memorials. I have been to the one in New York. We did the memorial and the museum, which were absolutely incredible. And also, I was sobbing in the middle of the museum. And then I was able to go to the one at the Pentagon when my husband was working there. He took me on a whole big tour of the Pentagon, including the memorial there. And then I also was able to go to the Flight 93 Memorial in Pennsylvania because I was driving through and realized that I was driving right by the memorial. And it was by accident almost. And I kind of went, I'm stopping. So I had a chance to visit all three, which I think is really special. So I'm happy that I was able to do that. Last year, I read Fall and Rise, The Story of 9/11 by Mitchell Zuckoff. This one taught me a lot. A lot of things that I had never heard before. Like there were very possibly other planes that just didn't get a chance to take off because everything was grounded before they could take off, which is scary. Very scary that there could have been more. And some of the things in here I had already, read about or learned about and everything, but there was a lot in here that I didn't. And it was just so impactful. And just sitting here reading through this, and it's not a short book, guys. It's a pretty long book, but you can see all the tabs. It really left a mark with me. I have so many tabs in here. I don't even think my lights are even getting all of them, to be honest. But this one is phenomenal. The writing is great and kept me engaged the entire time. And it's a good one. Another one that I read is The Red Bandana. This is by Tom Rinaldi. This is about a man named Wells Crowther who has been hailed as a hero in the Twin Towers. He worked in the Twin Towers, very high up, and he was noted for getting people to safety. He really stepped up and was getting people out, and then he was going back up to get more people out. And he did that until his life was taken. He didn't make it out. He was helping other people, and everyone talked about the man with the red bandana because he had a red bandana in his backpack. And when it got hard to breathe, he put it over his face, his mouth and his nose, so he could breathe better. And that's how people knew who he was. And they talked about him. And oh man, this one was heartbreaking, very heartbreaking, because he just was such a great guy and, ended his life doing something for other people and not himself. And it takes a very special person to be able to do that, to step up like that. And this one was fantastic. And hands down, the best book I've read about 9/11 is The Only Plane in the Sky, An Oral History of 9/11 by Garrett M. Granth. This book had me sobbing. And I mean, I was ugly crying. It's told in interviews with people who had survived that day. It is with people like family members of people who did not survive that day, professionals who were working during that time and in crisis management mode, military members, and it's incredible. I listened to this book on audio while I was reading it, and I highly recommend you do that because it's so impactful. Some of the audiobook narrators are the real people who are giving their interviews. Some of them are voice actors, but you also get recordings from that day, like phone call transcripts and recordings and stuff, and you hear the real reaction of what was happening on that day. And it was just, it hits a little different when it's like that. It's a little different. I was just, oh man. This is one that I actually want to reread at some point, because when I read this book, I was not tabbing up my books at all. And I really want to do that with this one for sure. So, at some point in my life, I will reread this book, but it's hands down the best book about 9/11 I've ever read. Okay, guys, those are 3 of the best books about 9/11 I have read. And I definitely plan to read more. I have more on my shelves. I'm going to be reading one this month, actually. And I'm going to be reading one about Flight 93. I haven't read anything about that yet. I would also really like to find one that focuses only on the Pentagon. So I'm on the lookout for that. So if you guys have any recommendations or if you know of anything, please let me know. I would really like to read something like that. The Pentagon has a special place in my heart because both my father and my husband have worked there, and I've been in that building a few times. So, and I've been to the memorial there as well. But I would like to get my hands on something like that. So if you know of anything, please let me know down below. I would love to know. And make sure you go check out Lindsay. I will leave her channel linked in the description and see what books she's going to be recommending. And we will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.